You get okay. You've mentioned. I want to take you back. I need to take you back because I feel like there's a story you've jumped in all this mix. You've mentioned Jua Kali. You mentioned Nameless. You've mentioned Nyash. You've mentioned Sema. There's a song somewhere hapo. Okay. There's a song. There's a little something there.
So, in fact, I know why. You remember I told you to join Scanad, Lona Irungu called me.
Yes.
The reason why she called me is because a few months before, Lona Irungu was doing some work for Motorola, who was sponsoring a Channel O program that there was something about doing. There was a gig that used to happen in Nairobi. I'm trying to remember what the name of the gig was, but it was a Channel O gig that required in Nairobi to have a performance by an artist recorded, and it ends up on the Channel O TV, whatever. So Lona Irungu was in charge of managing that. Now that whole thing had been sponsored by Motorola. So Lona called me to help her manage the artists. Because see, I had now that reputation for I know how to work with artists. So she called me and told me, so I give you my list of artists and you manage them. You call them, agree with them, make sure they are here, nini. And I think it ran for like maybe 8 weeks or so. So while we were doing that, Pinye was also involved. So Pinye was supposed to be, I think Pinye was the standard DJ for all of them.
So live, backing track.
So I was working a lot with Pinye at that time. Then I think Lona mentioned something about Motorola wanting to do something more. Then at that time, Pinye and I had started, hey, you've taken me back, thank you. Before this, I approached Pinye. I think 2005 or 4. I approached Pinye and I told Pinye, you see that show that you have, the beat? I did for him a proposal that was influenced heavily by what I'd been reading. Where?
The Source
magazine. So I wrote for Pinye a proposal. The Beat Video Music Awards.
Ooh.
I wrote for Pinye that proposal. We discussed it. We even went to Nation. We started planning. Nini.
No way.
But every time we were about to do something, the management at Nation changed. So we always had to start again. We had to start again. So as we were talking about that, one of the ideas that we had talked about was like, can we do a song? It's like an industry song, but just put different people together. So when Lona mentioned that Motorola are doing something, or they're looking to do something, we thought of that. So then we quickly crafted an idea, Then we even started thinking of the artists to use. So we came up with a list of artists. Then we approached Lona. But when we approached Lona, we were 50-50. When we spoke to Lona about it, Lona took us to 100. As in, you know, have you ever told someone an idea, then they run with it like it was their original idea, and not in a bad way. It's because they're excited, they can see it, you know. So Lona took it to 100. The next day, Lona tells us, so Motorola want a budget. Mazi, yani, us guys had just thought of the idea and the artist to work with. We haven't even talked to them. We started, but it was an easy conversation. Just started talking to them, So we put everyone together. We had a sit down someday. We took them through the idea. Then I can't remember how the songwriting especially was done, but it's like what we told them was the idea we gave them was there's Palm and then there is Kama. Remember Kama?
Yeah, I remember Kama.
So the idea was these two chicks are pals. This chick is being katiwad by someone, and her pal is just trying to tell her to be careful. So we want that female perspective, but now let's get different male perspectives. You know, like how they would advise her. So that was the basis.
Yeah.
Now, the challenge, but was a fun challenge, was let's see how to fit Motorola into it. So we started now recording the song. So there's a guy, I think he was called Bruce. He passed on like maybe 2 years ago. He used to work for Ted Josiah. At this time, I think Bruno. Ted Josiah, I think, had left the country, but he had left the studio open. So Bruno used to operate at the studio. So Bruno helped us record the song, but he was more about recording the vocals.
Yes.
The
he was
track,
a sound engineer.
Yeah. So the track, he had just done something basic to shikilia. Now, so that you know, again, back to that conversation of difference between producers and beat makers. When your artist goes out to do something else, you care about how he sounds elsewhere. Because if he sounds bad, it can affect what you're doing. So because Jua Kali was there, Clemo said, I want to hear what you guys have done. But it was normal for us.
Yeah.
It's quality control, but also it's industry.
Yep.
So we took it to him. Clemo was like, Indio track mnataka kutumia? So I think he saw from Pinye and I, our faces, we were not sure. I think for us, we were more excited about the project, getting these 7 people together, doing a song together, and the lyrics sounded so good. Then Clemo told us, nipatie ka 2 days.
But nakumbuka hiyo ngoma. Ulikuwa we, Nameless,
Nyashinski, Waire. Nakumbuka. Usimpe. Iko na story yake pia hiyo.
Hebu we story hiyo ngoma ni nini? You have to tell us, but nani mwingine atatuambia.
Sasa hiyo song ndio alikama up na idea. Anaitwa The Pinye. Unaona pia which na big up sana. Unaona cause alikuwa anataka pia kushow. Wajua pia ni important sana as much as mafans wanaweza imagine sisi ni mabeste. Wakituona kwa song moja get excited.
Also ni Pinye alikama up na hiyo concept.
Pinye alikama up na hiyo concept. Ataanza kumbuka verse yangu nikirecord nilikuwa nimetoka Arusha. Nilikuwa nimechoka. So tukaenda hata nimesahau ilikuwa studio gani jo.
Na hiyo version nani aliproduce?
Sasa ndio sinakupigia story.
Okay, sawa. Pole.
Pigia story. Hiyo verse nilitoka Arusha, nilikuwa TZ, nikakuja nikarecord, ilikuwa late. Hiyo kina bass kina nani walikuwa hapo, wasipa walikuwa sha record mavasi zao. So mimi nikeka verse yangu ya mwisho. Nameless kuna kina Nameless. So adhani Msioka nani aliambiwa amake version yake. Alafu na producer wa Ted nadhani alipass. Bruno. Bruno pia alipewa pia make version yake. Alafu
in fact
sisi
shock. Bruno studio yake ilikuwa pali tuko sahi. Before this hotel was put up.
Yes.
Bruno alikuwa anafanya Lord wa Records. Na ilikuwa hapa. Pali tuko.
Mali tuko hapa.
Emory Hotel So walibomoa hiyo studio wakaweka hii wakaweka hii
the studio Bruno mimi nilisikia baadaye mimi hata sikuwa najua mimi nilikuwa nashinda huko jamaa alipotea gapi
ni pole mimi niko na story hivi
pia bado ni sawa tu unaona so pia kina Ted
walifanya version
yao sasa tukamake pia yetu Calif sasa tukasikia nadhani tulisikia Bruno ilikuwa size yake unaona so kulikuwa na debate mimi nikatoa noma mimi sitoagi noma but nikatoa noma kwambia jamaa hii ndio inaenda baba jamaa alikuwa shindo ni ndio jamaa vipi Said story ya Clemo manini. Hii song ndio song no. Hii ndio noma. Hii ndio inaenda. Unaona hiyo ndio version ilitokaga. Hiyo version yetu.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio ilitoka.
Let me tell you, when Clemo called us 2 days later to go to his studio, when we went and had that thing, we were like, okay, we are jokers. Because Clemo had sufficient that track.
You guys, let me shock you. You also went to Msioka.
Yes.
When I interviewed the CTA,
Yes, we went to Msioka.
he played me
the version that he had done.
Here's what Clemo Msioka played.
Yes.
Were you part of the project that recorded that song, Sam? No, it was Pam.
I did a version of that project.
You know the song I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the one for Clemo. It was a Motorola commission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fakii, that was Fakii's deal. So we submitted several demos. I mean, I submitted mine, but mine didn't make it. Okay. So they went with Clemo's. I have a version of that song.
This guy has everything.
You have my version of the song.
I can throw you an idea. You have it.
Kwanza. Artist Motorola, yeah. Pro Tools. In fact, I have the Pro Tools session.
Yeah.
Yeah, complete with vocals and everything. The acapellas.
Mekuwa bad boy ever since standard 2 kuchapa watu hii mateket.
Yeah, so this was my version of this project. It was called Urban Massive.
Hey, God, go to the bounce.
So that was my version of the song.
He played me. That means you guys must have said, let's also try this.
Yes, but I'm trying to remember who else we tried. There must have been someone else we tried. I'd forgotten about that by the way. Wow.
So
Yes.
now Clemo alimaliza.
Clemo sufficient that track. Because I think, now that you say it, I think we had 3 tracks to choose from, 3 or 4. But when we had what Clemo had done,
Like, done deal.
it was done.
Na gnaja tu atiwe kukuwa na mita kuwa blanda juu mekuwa bad boy ever since standard 2 kuchapa watu hii mateke hadi na ganda mguu lakini ajui ya mfaidi akikuambia mini rough neck bad boy ndo unanipenda zaidi kila roho yako imechagua ishachagua na hiyo ni kitu nikoshua hata yeye mwenyewe anajua ni Nyashinski. Baby una smell fresh kama lavender na cherry sinikuite Mariah jo vile umecarry ring kwenye belly na smile ya Halle Berry matake yani like since ni cheki kwa teli jumi wanga juu ya maji jo kama ferry ni wanga magush na sedusa hata medusa na gusa kibusa anapata magusa 9 inches kwa boxers abas baby yeah. Getting critical intale kichuo and physical nipe nafasi nipe hii interval nikuoneshe loving is unbeatable na waambie wasintafie tuende nyumbani baby tusinzie nikupe date ima kwa kalenda nikupe agenda kupenda bogi benda nimetia bidii bana sinikubali ukinikatana
Now video.
So now video, Mac Moss. You know Mac Moss?
That is, you've taken me back.
No, Mac Moss was the guy for doing music videos kitambo,
Yeah.
with kina Joey Mugweru.
Yeah.
So we spoke. Now Macmoss, of course, I knew him, but he had a better relationship with Pinye. So they had a conversation. Macmoss was game. You know, Macmoss, I think, is a guy who, and it's something I like about him, he sees the project and creativity before even money. So when we spoke to him, he already saw it. So he drew for us he actually drew a storyboard for it. I don't know if it was him or he got someone else, but he presented us with a storyboard. So we saw it. So now this is where he told us, he was now selling to us so that we sell to the client how to incorporate the product. Because Motorola is paying,
yes.
You have to show them something.
Yep.
But now we have to do it in a clever way, you know. Now, the good thing is we had briefed the artists before about it. So by the time Macmoss was coming in, it was an easy brief to the artists. By the way, remember, at this time, the artists, there is no discussion of money. No one has discussed money. It's, you come in and you see there's Fakii, there's Pinye, there's Lonairungu, and then now there's Macmoss. Track by Clemo. What are you asking for? Niuone mbele. Niuone mbele.
Okay, I hear you.
Otherwise you don't fit in here. Aya. So we do the video.
But in that video even kuna wase walipelekwa majuu.
Sasa
na wale wa local.
Unajua nini? Unajua atmosphere ya Kenya ni chafu. So if you see the video, Pam and Kama's parts are cleaner.
They're so clean.
Because those ones were done in SA. So them they went to SA to shoot their parts. Then now the rest were incorporated. Because we shot their parts here, but they didn't come out that well.
Yeah.
And the Motorola guys were like, because it's chicks especially, watch our shine.
Yes.
You know? So we arranged for them, by the way. They went to SA.
So swali yako ilikuwa gani?
Ati?
Swali yako ilikuwa
nilikuwa nauliza tu juu ya hiyo song vile lifanyika.
Vile lifanyika. Yes, ndio hivyo. Sasa ndio hiyo version yetu ya kali vile ilitoka. Hiyo ndio ilitokaga. Sasa tukaenda tukashoot video. Kina Pam wakapelekwa South Africa. Sisi zetu tulishoot tu huko. Boy child problems. Hao mademu walipelekwa SA. Hizo shot zao vile ni safi. Walishoot SM. Sisi zetu hapa mtaani. Mimi nilipelekwa tu kwa go down man.
Wewe ulienda go down, ndio ulikuwa ndani ya
connection hapo wewe. Piga hata mambo yako. Hiyo story kaishi hapo.
Okay, sasa bado hiyo ngoma hata ilikuwa kubwa. Hiyo ngoma ilikuwa kubwa. Nice.
Now, when we shot the video, when we presented the idea of the the video to the Motorola guys, there's a guy from Motorola. I can never forget his name. I can never forget this guy. He's called Nick Regisford. He's based in SA. So when we presented the storyboard to him, now he's the one who introduced us to other what are they called? Other products of Motorola. Because us guys, all we had done was phones.
Yes.
So now he was showing us the different phones you can use. So and so is using this kind of phone. So and so is using this kind of phone. You saw even Abbas didn't use a phone.
Yeah.
He used headphones.
Yes.
So those were just products that they gave us.
Nice.
You know, just to show different things.
The diversity of Motorola.
And then, so we looked for places to shoot. We got places to shoot. I think there's Kinapam and Kama's part. We shot in some house somewhere.
Oh, so you went down to SA?
No. We shot in the Kenyan.
Local. Yes, the local one.
We shot in some house somewhere in Kile. I can't remember whose house. We did. I remember for Nyash, she's at the video arcade. If you look at that video, do you know Kinyast? David Kinyast. He's a guy who works for MultiChoice now, and he's been in the industry for a while, working with Kina Joy Mugweru, Kina Alex Murungi. If you look at the video, he's seated next to Nyash. That's the video arcade at Sarit Center back then.
Yeah.
This guy, Abbas was some wall somewhere in Mada. Juakali, I can't remember where Juakali's was. Waire was at Java.
Nameless.
Thank you so much, Fidel Maithia, because he gave us access to shoot it at Nation FM.
Whoa.
That was Nation FM, the radio station. That was it. Fidel Maithia organized it for us. Then the song came out.
And it's huge.
Do you know, all those artists got two things that those artists got from that deal. And by the way, when I'm saying this, Pinye and I didn't get a single cent, as we were just happy about the product. The artists, plus of course now Pinye, Lonairungu and I, we each got a Motorola phone. Then that time there was the launch of the Razer Motorola.
Yes.
So for performance, each of the artists was paid 30K. I remember that because I'm the one who paid them. And that was it.
Were guys pissed?
No one asked for anything.
Oh, I get.
It's, you see, at that time, it's you see.
Yes, okay. I
like,
get what
let me
you're
tell
saying.
you.
Now, of course, that wouldn't be the case.
Now it wouldn't be the case.
But at the time, because we're talking, maybe when you had got to 2007, 8, I'm like, let's go back. You were talking about 2005.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, bro, so that you understand. And it may come out as bragging, but it's not. It's a point that I want to. There's a time in this industry, there are some people in the industry, not necessarily artists. There's some people in the industry, when as an artist you get a call from them and they tell you,
yes,
I want you to do this and this and this. You don't question.
Yes.
You go and you do.
Yes.
You know, you go and you do.
Yep.
You don't ask questions. The late Bruce Odhiambo was one of them. Bruce Odhiambo would call you. I know of artists or DJs that Bruce Odhiambo used to call. He calls you, come, there's a gig here. So you do the gig, then you'll go home, nothing. But you keep quiet. The next day, let's say your rate is usually 100K. The next time he'll call you for a gig, then he'll give you 5 sock. Will you ask him about the 100K for before?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
You know.
I hear what you're
Then the
saying.
next time when he doesn't give you money, and even the other time he doesn't give you money, you don't say anything.
Yeah.
You know what he's doing.
Yep.
You know. So I had the privilege of being one of those guys to several people in the industry.
Yep.
You know, like even by the time would call guys for gigs when I was at Capital FM, by the time we were going to Stato, it was, we are going to Stato, let's go. You know, like, I'm sure you've sorted out things.
Yes.
Let's go.
And they know you've sorted out from the marks that you can push.
Yes.
At that time. And
Yes.
you're also saying, I've seen you scratch my back this time.
Yes.
Don't worry, I'm coming with a bear.
Yes.
We'll do next
Yes.
time around.
Yes.
Okay, Fakii, before we continue, yani we are going to have to cut here today. Curfew again. Waza, la, 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 la. But at least what year are we right now? Tunamaliza Capital FM.
We are in 2008.
2008.
Yes.
This is season 1 where we've ended.
Yes.
The conversation is 100% going to continue.
Okay.
Because yani we still got how many more years? 13.
12, 13 years.
Guy. We've not even talked about Nyash. We've not talked about, I just teased 2 things. Nyash, we've not talked about. We've not talked about Coke. We've not talked about Kani. And a whole lot more when we come back. But for now, Jaden is going to lock us up. Let's lock up, man. Sasa.
Sasa.
Cut.
Cool.